Hey guys, Yips here, coming with another video, and this one's just going to be a little bit of a talk about legendary upgrades coming out tomorrow. So tomorrow being the Tuesday of the release, we're going to be able to upgrade some of our legendaries from 940 to 970, and I just want to give you guys a little bit of a heads up about what you should be upgrading on your Warlock. Now, this comes down to, your playstyle and all of that. There are different combinations that are better in different scenarios. There's combinations that are best on 2-target, 3-target. There's combinations that are best on pure single target. And then there's of course combinations with 2-piece, 4-piece, and a lot of this will depend on what gear you have. A lot of this will depend on what your playstyle is, like I've said, but this is just going to be a casual video where I just kind of sit here, quest on my hunter, and talk to you guys a little bit about what I found out, because I've run a lot of sims myself and I think I have things pretty much sorted out. So first and foremost, I'm going to talk if you're a top-level Mythic progression raider, and then I'll move on to some more casual players if you're just a Mythic Plus kind of person, or if you're just doing Heroic or whatever, I can talk about what legendaries will be best for that. So if you're a hardcore raider and you feel like you're going to be killing a lot of bosses in the Tomb of Sargeras, it's important to note which bosses are going to be first in Tomb of Sargeras, and we can see here that Gorgroth, Demonic Inquisition, Harjatan, etc. These are going to be the first bosses that you're killing, and I want you guys to note something about these bosses. Demonic Inquisition, Harjatan, Sisters of the Moon, and Mistress, and Desolate Host are all AoE fights. They're multi-target fights. They're fights where you get a lot of benefit from having multi-target legendaries. So in the first week when you're going to progress on Tomb of Sargeras, if you are a Mythic Raider, or even a Heroic Raider for that matter, you're going to want to be upgrading your AoE legendaries first. Now, you might be thinking, well, Affliction doesn't really have any AoE legendaries, but you do have legendaries that do benefit you in a multi-target scenario. The legendaries that benefit you most in a Writhe and Agony multi-target scenario are going to be the chest, the helmet, and the cape. These are the three best legendaries for multi-target. Specifically, the two best are the cape and the chest, the second best combination being the helm and the chest, and then the helm and the cape. So if you have any combination of those legendaries, or even one or the other, you're going to be wanting to upgrade that legendary first, as it's going to prove to be the most beneficial in the first few bosses in Tomb of Sargeras. Now, moving on to the later stages, if you want to be more focused towards a single target build, you don't have a lot of time for all of these things, and you don't really care about doing multi-target, you just want to own on those patchwork bosses, and you want to be able to pump the boss, then your legendary dependency changes a little bit. You no longer want the cape. The cape is only good for multiple targets. On single target, it loses quite a bit of value. So on single target, the chest is still a great upgrade. The chest is very, very good for pure single target, but you're also going to want to look at the belt now. The belt is one of those legendaries that isn't so great on the multi-target encounters, contrary to popular belief. It's actually a much better single target legendary where you can really focus on getting those additional UAs out, where on multiple targets, you can get that UA from different sort of things. You can get it from generating from additional ads with agonies. You can get it from all sorts of different types of stuff. So, in saying all of that, it does come down a little bit to personal preference. What I'm doing myself is I'm going to be upgrading my chest piece and my helmet first, because I feel like they suit me best on both things. They're very good for multi-target and they're very good for single target, and I'm going to be able to be very versatile in my raid group, where I have two legendaries that work well on both things and not so much specializing, just in case there becomes a scenario where I really need to do one or the other. So obviously the legendaries that I recommend you guys upgrade, just to recap, is going to be the chest, the helmet, the belt, and the cape. Those are the best ones. Generally speaking, I think the chest is the safest bet because it also works cross-spec and is really good for Mythic Plus, and then helm is the other safe bet just because it's very consistent. Now, that's covering a top-level raider scenario. Now, what if you're just more into, Mythic Plus? You're more of a Mythic Plus kind of dude, and you don't really like grinding out that too much, and all you really want to do is, do your Mythic Plus, do your world quest, that kind of stuff, and you're not too into raiding. Oh, then your legendary combinations kind of change a little bit. You don't really want as much of those legendaries anymore. There's actually one legendary that you really want to upgrade, and that's going to be Safuz. Safuz is an extremely powerful legendary. It is a true powerhouse in Mythic Plus. It's a powerhouse in world questing. It really is a powerhouse everywhere. So when you're not focusing so much on raiding and you're focusing more on the other content of the game, I really recommend you guys upgrade your Safuz along with either chest, helm, belt, or whatever else it is. Now, there's one last thing that I want to talk about quickly before I wrap up this video, and that's going to be about 2-piece, 4-piece. So, Two-piece, four-piece is going to be a very real thing next tier if you have good Nighthold 2 set. I'm talking about Nighthold 2 set, Tomb of Sargeras 4-piece. If you have good item level Nighthold 2 set, it will be very beneficial for you on only single target to run two-piece, four-piece. If you have this option, the best legendaries that you can upgrade is going to be your belt, along with either Bracers or Safus or Pride Ass. Those are the 4 legendaries that you should be upgrading if you have high Nighthold tier set and you want to run the two-piece, four-piece. Anyways, that kind of wraps up this video. I'm just flying around on my Hunter, not really knowing where I'm going because I have to finish this quest chain or whatever. Either way, that's going to be all I have for you guys today, just to give you a brief insight about what you should be upgrading for tomorrow. Hope you guys have fun in Tomb of Sargeras, and I will see you all later.